From Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Operation Warp Speed expects the first Pfizer vaccine shipments to arrive at more than 600 distribution sites early this week. The FDA gave the vaccine the green light for emergency use late Friday. Now the task of distributing the first several million doses is beginning. Manuel Bojorquez has the latest.
The massive effort to deliver Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine to hospitals and pharmacies across the nation is underway.
D-Day was the beginning of the end, and that's where we are today.
Distribution of the vaccine is an unprecedented domestic military and commercial joint operation. Both FedEx and UPS are set to use special refrigeration in trucks and planes to move the vaccine quickly. With the FDA's blessing, the first round of nearly 3 million doses is set to be shipped Sunday in super cold containers, keeping them around 94 degrees below zero. FDA Commissioner Dr. Stephen Hahn is working to assure the public the vaccine is safe and effective and that corners were not cut.
Science and data guided the FDA's decision. We worked quickly based on the urgency of this pandemic, not because of any other external pressure.
The vaccines will begin their journey Sunday from here, Pfizer's factory near Kalamazoo, Michigan. Hospitals nationwide are preparing to give the first shots, likely to healthcare workers and the elderly most at risk.
We really want to treat this vaccine as the liquid gold that it is, because it's really the only tool that we have right now in our toolbox to cure this disease.
So far, this disease has killed more than 1.6 million people globally, including almost 300,000 here in the U.S. Manuel Bojorquez, CBS News, Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Peter Marks, the FDA vaccine director, says his agency will track all reports of allergic reactions in the U.S. Be on the lookout for slick conditions. Summer Schnellbach is here to let you know when you can expect some snow and just how much you could get. Summer?
Katie, let's take a live look right now at our Devil's Lake Home of Economy Skycam network, where we are just seeing the same gray skies that have been hanging around all day long. But the Devil's Lake Basin area is going to be the first to see the snow as we head overnight and into early tomorrow morning. So right now on satellite and radar, we're just seeing that thick cloud deck. But up in Saskatchewan, we have a cold front that's going to be bringing that light snow. And again, that Devil's Lake Basin area is going to be the first to receive it early tomorrow morning. I'll get to the timing in just a few minutes, but temperatures right now, mostly in the teens and low 20s. We have seen very similar or steady temperatures for much of the evening. In Fargo tonight, we'll keep those cloudy skies, temperatures right in the low 20s, remaining steady. And in Grand Forks, very similar conditions, falling a couple degrees into the teens. So coming up, I'll time out that snow, potential impacts, and some much colder air on the way behind that cold front.
All right, well, thank you so much, Summer. An early morning chase landed a 21-year-old Fargo woman in jail. Police say Tanisha Salazar drove a stolen pickup from the Holiday gas station off of 45th Street Southwest around 9 last night. Officers saw the pickup several times through the night, but it wasn't until about 6 this morning. Officers found the truck and stopped Salazar at 43rd Street South and Main Avenue. Salazar was arrested on multiple charges, including theft, fleeing, reckless endangerment, and 3 warrants. Luckily, no one was hurt when a gun went off in a Grand Forks home today around 3:30 this afternoon. Officials responded to the 1200 block of South 9th Street. Police learned the homeowner tried to remove their revolver from a small piece of pipe, which caused the gun to go off and hit the basement floor. A request for review was submitted to the city prosecutor for discharge of a firearm within city limits. Trying times as the pandemic continues, especially for an industry trying to stay ahead of the surge. It's the emotional aspects that have changed for funeral homes and families. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockey explains how it's impacting the grieving process for those saying goodbye to loved ones.
In 12 years of running Bulger Funeral Home,
this has been the
the strangest and most difficult year of my career.
An uptick in business, juggling CDC guidelines and adjusting to a more distant approach in a personal business.
Dealing with families during a pandemic has just been, a little extra difficult.
Bulger says the pandemic is affecting some people's ability to grieve. At the start of the pandemic, 10 people were allowed out of service. Now it's limited to 50% capacity.
We have a lot of families that, have had loved ones pass away, especially, months ago or at the beginning of the pandemic, and we're waiting to do their, public celebration. People who had that thought we might be done with this by now.
Like most businesses, they're adapting. They've started live streaming services for families. They're also having private services and offering a public service at a later date for free.
We have a lot of people that come in and they pre-planned their funeral 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And I do see families say, oh, that's not really what mom wanted.
It's difficult to plan for a time when a loved one passes away. Even more difficult during a pandemic. That's why Bulger says they're doing what they can to make sure families have a chance to say goodbye. In Fargo, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
Bulger says they have several options for those looking to celebrate the life of a loved one. Download the VNL News app. You can find this story on our homepage. If you've been putting off renewing your driver's license, now is the time to do it. The North Dakota Department of Transportation is reminding drivers that all licenses that expired after March 1st are due for renewal by the end of the year. Currently, there are more than 10,000 licenses that need renewal in the state.
Everything is worked out. Our offices have been open. We've been doing some extra overtime, some extra hours, and we're right on pace to have everything finished up here by the end of the year.
The DOT is continuing renewals by appointment only. Still ahead tonight, a creative way of bringing holiday cheer to those living in an area nursing home while staying safe.
And in Fargo today, there was only a 5-degree difference between our morning low temperature of 20 and our afternoon high of 25. But that high temperature is nearly on par with normal for this time of year. Very similar in Grand Forks, only a 3-degree spare. Now look at our normal low temperature. We'll be closer to that in a couple days.